solve these simultaneous equations for P and Q, you can look at the numbers. We've got 2 and 3 in front of the P. So I'm going to need to multiply both of my equations, 2 and 3, or if I wanted, I could use the numbers in front of the Q's, -3 and -2. There's not a right and wrong way, I just have to choose a method. So I'm going to eliminate Q. So I'm working with -3Q and -2Q from equation 1 and 2. So if I multiply by 2 and by 3, I will end up with -6Q and another -6Q. But if I take the second equation and multiply by a negative, 2 negatives multiplied gives a positive, so that will be +6Q. So it would be better to have one positive and one negative, so -6Q, add 6Q, because they add up to 0. So this method is one when you can always add the equations if you have opposite signs. So at the moment, the signs are the same for each, so we need to multiply one of the equations by a negative number. Now at the moment, these are both negatives. Negative we've got a negative in front of the Q and a negative. So that's why what I want to do is multiply the first equation by a 2 and the second equation by -3. So then that means that one of my equations will end up being positive. The second equation will have a positive 6Q. So we'll go ahead and do that. Equation 1 times 2. Now I have to multiply everything by 2. So that's 4P subtract 6Q equals 24. And the second equation by -3. So -9P. Then careful, negative times negative is a positive 6Q. And then 13 times 3 is 39, and that's an overall negative. This is equation 1 and equation 2. You're going to add 1, add 2, and write the answers underneath. So 4P, add -9P is -5P. Add up -6Q, add 6Q, that's a big 0. And then over here, I would work out 39 subtract 24, which is 15. But what we're doing is the opposite way around, -39, add 24. So the 39 is a bigger number, so that means this is an overall -15. That in there. Writing it out more neatly, -5P equals -15, and P equals -15 divided by -5. Dividing two negatives gives an overall positive, which is 3. Sub that into the first equation to get Q. So 2P subtract 3Q equals 12. So 2 3's subtract 3Q equals 12. 6 subtract 3Q equals 12. Subtract 6 from both sides, -3Q equals 6. then Q equals 6 divided by -3, which is -2. Solve the equation for V and R. So this time we can deal with the 4V and the 5V if we want. So multiply the second equation by 4 and the first equation by 5. But I think it's better if we make one of them negative, because at the moment 4V and 5V are both positives. So let's multiply the second one by -4. So go and write that. First equation by 5, second equation by -4. 4V times 5 is 20V. 7 times 5 is 35, so that's still -35R. And then 15 times 5 is 65. Equation 2. 5 times 4 is 20, so that's 20V, but this time we've chosen to multiply by -4. Next one, we've got negative at the moment, -2R, times another negative, that's a positive. 2 4s are 8, so that's 8R. And then over here, 4 12s are 48, but we've chosen to multiply by negative. Now, because I've got 20V and -20V, I can just add the equations. So add equation 1 and 2. I'll write down that's what I'm doing. Underneath 20V, subtract 20V, or 20V add -20V is 0. Then -35R add 8R is -27R. Then 65 subtract 48 is 27. So then -27R equals 27. So R equals -1. Sub R equals -1 into the first equation. 4V subtract 7R equals 15. So 4V subtract 7 times -1, careful, equals 15. 4V, two negatives make a positive, so it's +7 equals 15. And then 4V equals 15 subtract 7, which is 8. And then V equals 2.